Hey guys, Chester Westerford here. Welcome back to my review channel. Today I'm going to give my thoughts on a new movie I saw on Saturday. As the title of the video says, the film to which I am referring is the new cash grab extravaganza starring LeBron James and Bugs Bunny, along with all your favorite Looney Tunes characters. Well, almost all. Anyways, I am talking about, of course, Space Jam: A New Legacy. Okay, background. I watched the original Space Jam a few times when I was a kid, and I enjoyed it well enough, but I never thought it was particularly amazing or stand out. I know a lot of people have great nostalgic memories of it, and that's great, but for me it was just kind of an interesting diversion from the real Looney Tunes, which is what I grew up watching a lot. The originals. I had several Looney Tunes collections on VHS, and I used to watch them over and over and over again. I had their Christmas album, I had their plushes, I still do. And I love the original Looney Tunes cartoons, and the original Space Jam, while they were in it, did not really feel that it ever got them quite right. There was something missing. It wasn't loony enough. It wasn't a Looney Tunes movie. It was a Michael Jordan basketball movie that had Looney Tunes in it. Not being a sports fan, perhaps that's why it never really connected with me. All that is to say, I didn't feel as much that way about this one. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that of the two, New Legacy is actually the superior Space Jam movie. Yeah, I'm ready for the hate in the comments. Don't be too mean. Let me just try to explain why. Whereas the first one didn't feel like it gave the Looney Tunes justice, this one I think, although still not perfect of course, was miles closer to getting there. I feel like the writers of this film understood better the screwball, slapstick, slightly sarcastic humor of the original cartoons. Yeah, Space Jam had some slapstick humor, but there was nothing original or fresh done with it. It was just like they were writing the script and said, "Hey, we should probably flatten a character here, to remind everyone they're cartoons." Even the first meeting between Bugs and the basketball stars is vastly different. When Michael Jordan meets the Tunes, it doesn't feel real. It's just like, oh, guess I'm talking to Bugs Bunny now. This is perfectly normal. And then they just have a conversation. Help us win basketball. I don't play basketball anymore. Please help us. Oh, I see, they're bullies. Yeah, I'll be glad to help. It's an extremely mellow scene in which they try to throw in a few gags with Duffy doing something to Jordan, which made no sense at all and felt like they were just threw it in there because they felt they needed something. But when LeBron James meets Bugs, it's an entirely different story. For one thing, I think it was brilliant to have him turn into a cartoon in this version. It gave them the opportunity to do a whole lot more with him. When Jordan was pulled in, it felt like he was taken to a business meeting. When James falls in, he's dropped right in the middle of the classic world of Bugs Bunny. And as a result, the cartoon segments feel like cartoon segments. They're funnier and just more interesting. It also, strangely enough, makes them feel more real somehow. And far from being an annoyance, the other Warner Brothers segments help with that as well. It doesn't feel like it's just there as a big advertisement, as many critics are saying, and I would contest the statement that they are. It's actually funny to see these characters interact in the ways that they do. Although I will say that some of the extras during the actual basketball game didn't work very well for me. Looks like they ran out of budget and just ran to the Halloween store and got all the Halloween costumes they could and threw it randomly on random extras. Sometimes the extras didn't even look like the parts they were supposed to play. It doesn't really work when they're supposed to be the actual Warner Brothers characters living in a computer world. As for the other human actors, though, I liked them a lot more too in this one. They didn't feel quite as one-dimensional as the first film. Part of the reason for that is they gave these characters actual motivation. In the original, Michael Jordan plays simply because he doesn't like bullies, I guess? I mean, that's a good motivation. In real life, good for him, but doesn't make for a very interesting watch. Here, the stakes are raised much more for LeBron. He's trying to save his son and everyone who's been sucked into the game, and the Looney Tunes from being deleted. As such, it feels more tense and makes you want to see the characters win even more. As for the rest of the humans, I think they all do pretty well. Don Cheadle actually makes a really good villain. Oh, and that one cameo? Absolutely hilarious. If you've seen it, you probably know the one I mean. When Sylvester brings in you-know-who. Yeah, overall I'd give this film a solid 7 out of 10. Not a perfect movie by any means, and yes, it is a little formulaic, and it is a bit of a cash grab, but Let's be honest, so was the original. Perhaps even more so. Stop pretending the original was some great classic and not just a cash grab to pull people into this gimmicky film, because that's what it was. Every movie is a cash grab in a sense. Disney executives aren't churning out all those Marvel films just because they want to tell a decent story. It's making them huge bucks. It's what studios do. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But just because it is a cash grab doesn't mean it's going to be a bad movie. Some are just more well done and more fun than others. And I think if you go into a movie like this not expecting it to be Citizen Kane, but expecting it to be just a fun popcorn muncher to give you a good laugh and forget about all the problems in the world, you're going to enjoy it a lot. I know I did. Yeah, I definitely give this one a recommendation. Anyways, that's all for today. I'll see you next week, and yeah, bye.